How you all doing, Ralphy here, Ralphy Customs? Got rigid conversion coming in, so we're going to get making some pillbox fucking axle plate things. So we're going to cut ourselves a chunk of this. You can see it's considerably longer than the piece we'll need, but I want a bit on the shelf to be able to just grab instead of having to manhandle a great long fucking length. And I can see, according to my calculations, that I fucking need a bit, 2 bits 76mm. Why have I gone 76mm long? Don't know, but anyway, we'll do that. Right, so first things first, we've cut a couple of blanks. I'm going to run a roughing mill off across the top of them. That's my plan. I'm going to do a light cut, we'll call it. I have to put a power feed on and see where we're going. Wrong way, Ralphy. No, I was right the first time. So I'm just going to take a light cut off just to square them up, really. I've just touched off and gone 20 thou. I'm not even sure it's going to be enough. Looking at that, it's not, is it? So let's have it out the other way, and we'll come down a little bit more. I'm just going to knock the quill down a bit, which is not the way to do it really, but that will do for now. Just going to come on. There we go. Hello, and off we go. So we'll have them topped off, then we can flip them over and machine them to length. Okay, so what I've done, I put the pointer in. I've cleaned the ends up as you saw, and I've marked out. This is the centres of the slot. They're the ends there. That's as wide as it needs to go, and we know that it's a 19mm spindle. So I've marked the 2 centres of the holes, if you like, that will form the ends of the slot, and I've used my pointer tool to line up, set my digital readout to zeroed everything off at that, and I'm going to lock my y-axis, because all I need to know is that I need to move that way by the distance between the 2 holes once I get into it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Joe Piezinski method, bless him, and I'm going to drill an hole there, and then I'm going to plunge. So I'm going in at 18mm. I need a 19mm hole, and if I've picked up the right drill bit, yeah, I'm going to go in with an 18mm drill bit, and then use an 18mm roughing out mill, yeah, to fucking hog it out, and then we'll go to a proper size bit for cleaning up the sides accordingly. Righto, so first time drilling a proper sized hole with a milling machine. Everything's locked off and zeroed and all sorted, and we're just going straight in with 18mm, nice and steady, 270 RPM, and we're on the coarse feed for the quill, which is quite slow because we're turning quite slow, you know. But we'll get this hole through, hopefully on event with no events like, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, you'll notice there's only one curly whirly coming off, look. So it's a brand new drill bit. I reckon I've chipped one of the fucking surfaces already as it started on this cut. But it's alright, you know, we'll get through there and we can dress it up afterwards. There's no bones. And there we are through. So that's happy days. Very pleased with that. And also very uneventful, so that's a good show. Now, what I'll do, I'll swap out now to this roughing out mill, and we'll plunge away until we've moved 16 millimeters that way, and that'll give us the center of the end of the slot, and then we can machine it out to 19 millimeters. Happy days. Right, I'm fucking about with my new phone while I'm doing this, so you're gonna have to bear with. Where are we? Not that way. Go forwards, Ralfy. So basically, what I'm now going to attempt to do is move, like I say, that way in increments of 60 thou I've gone this time. So let's see how that translates to actual milling action. So we're just going to take a nice light cut. I think we can go quite a bit more, especially if we use the power feed. That'd be fucking excellent, wouldn't it? Could even impatient me thinks we could even speed it up, but I'm not sure that's the right course of action. Just gently work it through. Try a bigger cut now, so we've gone twice what we were cutting before. And bear with. I'm just going to engage the it's backwards and back gear, doesn't matter. I'm just going to engage the power feed because that's what it's there for, isn't it? So see how that goes. If it will fucking do it. Come on, you bastard. Why are you doing it? What's wrong with this power feed? Here we go. Then we'll let that chip away at that, and we'll move our way along. You can join me when I get to the end. So, turn the auto feed off. I'm just checking that I've got it going that way when I want it to. Well, the job will move this way, but the slot will go. I know what I mean. We've swapped out to the size to 19mm, brand new 19mm end mill, and we're going to. Hold on. We're going to fuck where it stops because we've set it for different tooling, haven't we? So bear with. We're going to run that through, and then I did deliberate putting a smaller mill in and machining all the way around, you know, working my way around the slot. Sorry for the bad focus issues, but in the end I thought, fuck it, no, I'll just go with the 19 straight in, and I'll move it 16mm that way, and we'll call it done. You know, I'm pretty sure that that'll be fucking hook out geezer. So we're basically taking a 20 thou cut now to finish all the way around, taking it out from 18 to 19, which is a mil, 40 thou, and 20 thou on all surfaces. We'll work that through until it gets to the depth that we want on the power feed, then we'll lock it off, and then we'll traverse the X, the corresponding 16mm. And that should be happy days. So I'll probably fast forward through this bit. Oh, so free that off, fuck that off. I should now give it as a perfectly formed 19mm slot. Just unloosen, if you know you know, the vise, which tripod's right in the way of, so remove my parallels, and there we go. So a little bit of marking here where we've fucking gone that way there, and it's smooth as silk on the other one because we've not. So I can live with that. I'm happy with that. Now we're on to the the corners, if you like, the round bits, making the sides up. Now we've got the actual plate part, we're going to start making the sides up. So we need a couple of pieces of this tube, 35mm long. So we'll rough them out on the bandsaw and then size them on the lathe. Righto, so got them chucked up, got it one chucked up, held internally with the jaws. And what I've done, I've touched off on this face of the jaw and then zeroed my DRO, so I'll go about 35mm, which is what I want, and it'll give me a good enough size. I'll show you, look, what I'll do. Preliminary, I'll just get this cleaned up, like so. Look, there's any saw marks, everything. Yeah, so a little bit more, please. So we'll go say there. Alright. Happy days. Nothing wrong with that. Break that edge. Inside and out. Oh, well, outside and in. Alright, now what I'll do, I'll flip it around. Make sure that this face is hard against the jaws. So, tap the swarf out. Give it a wiggle, because I'm unloosen it. And there we go. Now what I can do now is work this down to that 35mm. So it's 35.495 to be precise. Like so. Back out, and then we'll go 35 on the nose, which is, come on, there. And that'll be bob on the side that we need. Plate that edge while he's doing it. That's clear, put that off out of the way, break that edge. And there you go. There's the end caps, and it's splitting now and welding to the plates. What I spoke too soon, what I forgot is I need to weld prep. Put my button piece in and we'll feed it in, look. And just something like that is going to do absolutely bob on. And now we split those in half. Nice and steady. Making sure to support this saw when it breaks through, otherwise we'll have a crash on our hands. But I'll cut both of those in half. Oh, so they're split. What I do is keep the pairs together, because there will be some discrepancy, won't they? So I mark it with a centre mark. Like it's got one. This one will have two. And then what I need to do is use two squares. Look. This is how I do it. So weld prep down, Ralphie, not all. Feel left and right this way. Get it squared up this way with a square, look. There. And so there's no gap there either, look. I'll put that into place better. Then we'll hold it down, we'll get a couple of tacks on it, spin it around to the other one. Then we just need to put the bridging pieces in. And we can cut the corners off. Yeah, sorted. So there we go, look, there's one in the top, and all I do is use a magnet to hold them flat and square to the table. When I push the piece in, tack each end, and then away we go. Right, so I'll get that other one tacked in, and I'll weld it all up, and then I need to clean the corners off, and go from there. Like. There they are, fucking good. I can't tell you how hot they are. They're all welded. What I'll do, I'll get a chop saw and cut off these corners, and dress it up with a sander. And then we're going to take it over to the milling machine to mill the top and bottom square and this flush. So next time you see them, they'll look a bit cleaner and be over on the milling machine. Righto, so we have cut and cleaned and sanded and made, as we say, made smooth. Got one clamped in the vise now, and I'm going to run the fly cutter across the top. I'm just going to bring the quill down until it touches on, which is there, and then I'll lock it off, and then I can fuck this off out of the way, this way, and wind it up just a few thou, like fuck all, like about 4 thou, 5 thou there. Then we can lock that off, look. And then we'll sit you on here and you can watch as I take a cut. And so we're just finishing off, giving that a light pass over with a fly cutter. Just to smooth it all out and get it all nice and even. There we go, Bob's a fucking jolly old. So what I'll do is I'll leave everything set as it is and wind this out of the way, look. And then put the other one in. Like so. Ooh, sorry, I bumped the camera. And then we can run again at the same setting. So I'll just come shy. And away we go. And that'll mean that it ends up exactly the same as this one. Dimensionally like. So I'll leave that to run and then we'll go on to the next operation. Alright, next up in the order of operations is we're going to run a fly cutter over one of the surfaces. And that just helps me when I'm setting up. When I'm getting it in the jig, I need a nice parallel to the slot surface. Yeah, they're going to be, I've tube welded, you're not going to see it really, so it's just, it makes it easier for me. And all I'll do is pick a side. That one, obviously there's some discrepancy there, which is fine. So I'll machine this side because it's already closer. And what I do is put a parallel through the slot, yeah, through this slot, so that it holds it true to the vise, and that's true to the head. So we can run a 5 thou cut is what we're going to take now, just to give me a nice flat datum. And away we go. Nice and steady, just to give us a nice, like I say, a flat datum to work from when I'm jigging it up. I'm tempted to flip it and do the other side as well, you know, to make them super equal, but maybe that's just because I like machining so much. And away she goes. Right. I'm actually thinking I might go again on the other side, like I say. So I'll whip that out. Okay. Bring the camera up, sorry, and flip it over. Not really any point, is there? I think I'm splitting hairs now, to be fair. So set on there. Yeah, we'll see. So now we're on to the covers. Make the covers out of this 50mm by 5 flat, and I use this backbone, it is 1.5" tube that I'm going to split in half. It's just parted tube, it's off 10mm long. Basically what I do is position this where I know it needs to be and then scribe around the outside of it. Then I take a piece of the material that I make it from and put that on the scribe line and scribe around the inside of it, and that gives me an inside scribe line where I can put that like that when it's split in half, and then I can put a couple of good strong tacks on it, and then those bits of tube will then sit inside this, and then we come in 5mm from this end in and do an M4, I think I use, grub screw to hold it on. That's it, Bob's your jolly old. And then we shape the outside of this to match its partner. These are very paired. When I've made this cover that fits that, it won't fit that one, because, you know, because they're all handmade and discrepancies will occur. So this is the last stage of operations, apart from coming in 15mm and doing a 16mm and doing a M8 or an M6 for the wheel adjuster. So We're almost there. Right, so they're welded on. That sits on. A little bit of wiggle room, which is good. Marked up for grub screws, both sides, and then a wheel adjuster, coming 15mm for the wheel adjuster. M8, I think. Might be M6, not sure. But we'll go over to the pillar drill. We'll pair them up like this. Drop that on there, and that one's on there, and then we'll take them over to the pillar drill and keep them clamped together while we drill for the M4 pillar. Onto the 8, these are 3.2, ready to take over 4mm thread. Nice and steady. It's creaked in a bit, so we're going to angle. We're going to angle the block over just a smidge, so it will be able to itself. Like that, and back a bit. Like that. All the way through. And what I'll do, I'll take the block out and just thread. I'll take this plate out and just thread the block, and that'll give us a nice receiver for the grub screw. So we'll go all the way through, and then over to the other bench to tap them out. Like so. So nice and steady. We've got an M8 for the adjusting bolts. These will push on a bush on the wheel spindle to tension the belt, and we've got M4 to put in the other rails, like I said before. So we'll have the plate out and we'll get the tiniest little tap holder in the world on the job. Go nice and steady with this, because they're really fucking easy to break. Sorted. So they were fitted, and you need to trim them up. I've just put some shot bolts in, M4 bright zinc plate. I wouldn't dream of using these. They need stainless grub screws that sit flush, but that'll do while I chop around that, sand it up, and then they're fucking done. Jobs are good. There we fucking go. There they are. What's the lot? All cleaned up, and then stamp on the inside. I will use a letter stamp to punch R on the right one and L on the left one. Not the wrong way round like fucking a certain Irish comedian, Jimmy Cricket. Anyway, there we go. So follow along to see me build a frame around, or a subframe, like a rigid back end around those two bits that I've made. Let me just spin you back. Yeah, fucking hallelujah, happy days. See that night train behind me? That's going to be videoed next. We're doing some brake work on it, doing a brake job. Going to rebuild his calipers and make up a new brake line. Anyway, it just leaves me to thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up. It makes a huge difference. If you like what you see, give me a sub. Check out my friends and the merchandise. Really important, the lube, because that's what separates us from the animals. Merchandise in the description below, and I'll see you on the next one. Big love, everyone. A fucking plaster on my finger.